lesson, we are going to look into the FOST1 checklist with an eye on its reusability and adaptability. Let's start with the permission granted by the FOST1 project to all its checklist users. According to the Erasmus Plus requirements, the project team is releasing the checklist with an open license. As project partners, we agreed to choose the Creative Commons Attribution License, CC BY, which allows anyone to retain, reuse, revise, remix and redistribute the checklist by stating that the original version is published on the FOST1 website at the link available in the checklist itself. No further limitations. At the end of the final version of the checklist, it is clearly stated how to attribute it correctly. The choice to use the most open license allows anyone to adapt the checklist to their scenarios broadly. We choose this direction as soon as we decided to design a checklist. With an open license, it is easier to support this tool's diffusion and to make the approach to MOOC design as gender balanced as possible. Anyone can look into it and change it according to their own specific needs, with the specific local adaptations. Why should anyone want to change the checklist? Can't they simply apply it as it is? Sure they can. The final version we are presenting in this MOOC aims at being ready to be used. And if this is the first time you start taking gender balance into account while designing a new MOOC, it might be enough to use it as it is. But we are conscious that there are many different levels of needs, and every scenario presents specific challenges, so you might want to adapt the tool to yours. Let's try with an example of a scenario. Suppose I, Paola, am a physics expert in an institution that never took gender balance explicitly into account so far, and for no reason in particular. Simply, no one felt sensitive to this issue or considered it a priority. Or maybe we all took it for granted. Anyway, no one thought we needed to have a specific filter to detect unbalanced contents. Then, suppose that I get to know about the FOST1 checklist and I take a look at it. I will start immediately to look at gender balance with more awareness. I will design a new MOOC with my teammates soon, so I decided to try using it and suggest others to look at it as well, from their perspectives. Imagine that the team for the new MOOC includes 3 other content experts in physics, all of them are male. I can count on a visual designer who is a male too, while the instructional designer is a female. My technical university faculty is mainly represented by male professors and researchers. This is a fact. It doesn't matter now why it happens. All colleagues are considered equals, but indeed our gender representation is not. Now I am more aware of gender balance, thanks to the FOST1 toolkit I've been reading. I want to use the checklist to help us design a good MOOC which is also better gender balanced. We can tweak some of the variables involved, and some will stay as they are. Take the expert's identity as an example. We will be 1 female and 3 males. No changes here. But we can try to highlight female researchers in our examples, female subjects in the images, pay attention to our references to be balanced, write texts that refer equally to male and female participants. If possible, we can also try to invite guests from outside our institution and keep an eye on balancing the presence of women experts presenting content. Suppose in this MOOC our institution is willing to involve only internal experts. In that case, we will focus more on using images that refer to females in the examples and exercises we create to reach a balance in the MOOC. Long story short, if you refer to the checklist at the very beginning of a new MOOC project, it might help you look at your scenario, analyze the variables related to gender balance, verify what is in your power to change according to your role, and what is to be taken as is, and choose to act on all the rest, maybe using some of our suggestions. Take notes directly in the checklist, make changes, and add comments. It's your tool. Your copy of it needs you to reflect the scenario you are working in. Different MOOCs might require you to adapt it differently, according to the experts involved, to the structure of the design team, to the specific context of the project, whether it is internal or related to an inter-institutional team, or before, after significant changes in the political situation. You can adapt the checklist to each, save it with a new name, build on it in time, share it with colleagues. You can also adjust it for different courses or projects which are not limited to MOOCs. It is a tool in your hands, and the aim of it is to raise awareness on an issue that can support widening the approach of students when approaching scientific content, but it is not limited to it. Please consider also sharing your adapted version back. Feedback from the field helps improve the checklist and integrate examples to make it even more helpful for the larger community. As we suggest in the checklist, sensitive contexts require an overall approach that considers different perspectives. Some of the questions in the checklist are not easy to be addressed because MOOC developers are not always in control of all issues. But if you know which is the scenario you are dealing with, if you ask yourself the key questions, if you make your effort in working on the items that are under your control, again according to your role, your MOOC will be more balanced in the end, and everyone, including all participants, will benefit from this.